Becoming a qualified security assessor, QSA, with PCI DSS was no small feat for me back in 2019 and did that multiple times post that. Visualize this: I embarked on a journey spanning over 16 hours by plane, crossing continents and states. I found myself in the vibrant city of Nashville, Tennessee, after a connecting flight from Durham, North Carolina, and before that, all the way from Europe. I entered the PCI DSS training session, my mind battling the effects of jet lag. My eyelids were heavy, threatening to close, but my passion for cybersecurity kept me awake, determined to soak in new knowledge. Amid the training, a revelation struck me like lightning: PCI DSS, the guard of payment card data, narrows data down to just 6 card fields. This insight served as a beacon, guiding me to approach the session as a fresh learner, leaving behind what I thought I knew. Why do I recount this story? Because I want you to grasp the essence of PCI DSS in a way that empowers you to make a real impact on society. To create an environment brimming with enlightening insights, your commitment is crucial. If you're truly hungry for personal and professional growth, I invite you to signify it by hitting that subscribe button and activating the notification bell. Together, let's journey toward knowledge and transformation. Let's understand PCI DSS now. PCI DSS, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, covers a range of security requirements for protecting sensitive payment card data, not just limited to 6 fields. However, these requirements do emphasize the protection of specific cardholder data elements, which are commonly referred to as the cardholder data and sensitive authentication data. These elements include: 1. Primary account number, PAN. The credit card number itself is a crucial piece of data that requires protection. 2. Cardholder name, the name of the cardholder as printed on the card. 3. Expiration date, the date when the card expires. 4. Service code, a 3-digit value on the magnetic stripe that can include information about the card's authorization requirements. It is useful when you are visiting a high-risk countries. Disable the card in those countries. 5. Full magnetic stripe data. This includes the data stored on the magnetic stripe of the card, often including the PAN, cardholder name, and expiration date. 6. Card verification value, CVV/CVC, the 3 or 4-digit code on the back of the card, for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, or the front, for American Express. This code helps verify that the person making the purchase has physical possession of the card. Protecting these cardholder data elements is crucial to prevent fraud and unauthorized transactions. Organizations that handle, process, or store these data elements are required to comply with the PCI DSS security standards to ensure the security of payment card transactions and data. It's important to note that while these specific data elements are highlighted, PCI DSS also covers a broader range of security measures and requirements to protect these elements, including network security, access controls, encryption, security policies, regular security assessments, and more. The standard provides a comprehensive approach to securing payment card data to prevent data breaches and maintain the integrity of payment card transactions. In a bit more detail, PCI DSS stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. It is a set of security standards designed to ensure the protection of sensitive payment card data during transactions, as well as the secure handling of such data by organizations that process, store, or transmit this information. The primary goal of PCI DSS is to prevent data breaches and fraud by establishing security measures that safeguard cardholder information. Here are some key reasons why PCI DSS is important. 1. Protection of cardholder data. Cardholder data, such as credit card numbers, expiration dates, and cardholder names, are prime targets for cyber criminals. Compliance with PCI DSS helps organizations implement measures to securely store and transmit this data, reducing the risk of data breaches. 2. Prevention of data breaches. Data breaches can lead to financial losses, reputational damage, and legal consequences. PCI DSS provides guidelines and best practices for securing cardholder data, thereby reducing the chances of data breaches. 3. Consumer trust. When customers make transactions using credit or debit cards, they trust that their sensitive information will be kept safe. Compliance with PCI DSS helps maintain and build consumer trust, as it demonstrates an organization's commitment to protecting their data. 4. Legal and regulatory requirements. Many countries have data protection laws that require organizations to safeguard personal and financial information. Compliance with PCI DSS can help organizations meet these legal and regulatory obligations. 5. Industry standards. PCI DSS is a widely recognized and accepted set of standards within the payment card industry. Adhering to these standards helps organizations align with industry best practices and demonstrate their commitment to security. 6. Reduced financial risks. Non-compliance with PCI DSS can lead to financial penalties, increased transaction fees, and the potential for lawsuits in the event of a data breach. By complying with the standard, organizations can mitigate these risks. 7. Vendor relationships. Many businesses, especially those involved in the payment card ecosystem, require their partners and vendors to be PCI DSS compliant. Compliance can help maintain good relationships with other businesses and ensure a secure supply chain. 8. Continuous security improvement. PCI DSS is not a static standard. It evolves over time to address emerging security threats and technologies. This encourages organizations to continually assess and improve their security measures. 9. Cybersecurity awareness. Implementing PCI DSS requirements promotes a culture of cybersecurity awareness within an organization. This can lead to better security practices across all aspects of the business. In summary, PCI DSS is crucial for protecting sensitive payment card data, preventing data breaches, maintaining consumer trust, complying with legal obligations, and aligning with industry standards. It provides a framework for organizations to establish robust security measures to secure payment card transactions and data. Before moving to next, do you have any doubts and queries? Write in the comment box. We would like to hear from you if you have any challenges in PCI DSS certification lifecycle management or implementation, or learning implementation. Reminding you to subscribe and hit bell icon. Let's move to. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to take your organization's cybersecurity to the next level? Introducing our groundbreaking PCI DSS version 4.0 implementation training course, the ultimate solution to safeguard your business and customer data like never before. In a digital world filled with evolving threats, compliance with the payment card industry data security standard is non-negotiable. Our comprehensive training empowers you with the knowledge and skills to not just meet, but exceed these rigorous standards. Here's what's in store for you. 1. Cutting-edge expertise. Learn from industry-leading professionals who have mastered PCI DSS and were QSA multiple times, ensuring you receive the latest insights and techniques. 2. Practical scenarios and case studies. Dive into real-world scenarios through case studies. Walk away with practical solutions you can implement immediately. 3. Tailored for all roles. Whether you're an IT professional, manager, compliance officer, or executive, our course is tailored to equip individuals across various roles with the knowledge they need. 4. Stay ahead of the curve. Stay ahead of cyber criminals with up-to-date knowledge on emerging threats and vulnerabilities, enabling you to proactively protect your business. 5. Boost customer trust. By demonstrating your commitment to data security, you gain your customers' trust and elevate your brand reputation. 6. A global recognition. PCI DSS compliance is recognized worldwide. Gain a competitive edge by aligning your organization with this prestigious standard. 7. Networking opportunities. Connect with fellow professionals through community, share insights, and build valuable industry relationships. Don't let your organization be the next headline for a data breach. Enroll in our PCI DSS version 4.0 implementation training course today and fortify your defenses against cyber threats. Act now and secure your future. Visit our website now to reserve your spot. Your data's safety is priceless. Invest in it today. PCI DSS, or Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, is a set of security standards designed to protect credit card holder data during transactions and cardholder information storage. It was developed by major credit card companies, including Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and JCB, to ensure a secure environment for processing, transmitting, and storing credit card information. Compliance with PCI DSS is mandatory for any organization that handles credit card data. The PCI DSS requirements are divided into 6 main goals, often referred to as control objectives, which are further broken down into a total of 12 specific requirements. These goals are as follows. 1. Build and maintain a secure network and systems. Install and maintain a firewall configuration to protect cardholder data. Do not use vendor-supplied defaults for system passwords and other security parameters. 2. Protect cardholder data. Protect stored cardholder data. Encrypt transmission of cardholder data across open, public networks. 3. Maintain a vulnerability management program. Use and regularly update antivirus software or programs. Develop and maintain secure systems and applications. 4. Implement strong access control measures. Restrict access to cardholder data on a need-to-know basis. Assign a unique ID to each person with computer access. Restrict physical access to cardholder data. 5. Regularly monitor and test networks. Track and monitor all access to network resources and cardholder data. Regularly test security systems and processes. 6. Maintain an information security policy. Maintain a policy that addresses information security for all personnel. PCI DSS compliance is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process that requires regular assessments, security updates, and compliance reporting. Organizations handling credit card data are required to undergo an annual PCI DSS assessment, which can take the form of a self-assessment questionnaire, SAQ, or an on-site audit by a qualified security assessor, QSA, if applicable. Non-compliance with PCI DSS can lead to severe consequences, including fines, increased transaction fees, loss of the ability to process credit card payments, and potential legal liabilities in case of a data breach. Therefore, businesses that handle credit card data should take PCI DSS seriously and ensure they meet all the necessary security requirements to safeguard sensitive information. The payment card industry, PCI, refers to the global financial industry involved in processing and managing various types of payment cards, including credit cards, debit cards, and prepaid cards. It comprises a complex ecosystem of financial institutions, merchants, card issuers, cardholders, payment processors, and regulatory bodies. Key components of the payment card industry. 1. Card networks. Major card networks such as Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and JCB serve as intermediaries between issuing banks and acquiring banks. They establish the rules and regulations that govern the use of their payment cards and facilitate transactions between merchants and cardholders. 2. Issuing banks. These are financial institutions that issue payment cards to consumers. When a cardholder makes a purchase, the issuing bank pays the transaction amount to the merchant and later bills the cardholder for the purchase. 3. Acquiring banks, also known as merchant banks. These institutions establish relationships with merchants to enable them to accept card payments. They process payment transactions on behalf of the merchant and settle the funds in the merchant's account after deducting various fees. For payment processors, these entities act as intermediaries between merchants and acquiring banks. They handle the technical aspects of the payment process, including authorization, settlement, and reconciliation. 5. Merchants, businesses and organizations that accept payment cards as a form of payment for goods and services. Merchants must adhere to security standards, such as the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, to protect cardholder data. 6. Cardholders, individuals who possess payment cards and use them for making purchases or accessing funds at ATMs. 7. Payment terminals, devices used by merchants to accept payment cards. These can include point-of-sale, POS, terminals, online payment gateways, mobile payment solutions, and other emerging technologies. Security and compliance. Given the sensitive nature of payment card data and the potential risks of fraud and data breaches, the PCI has established security standards to ensure the protection of cardholder data throughout the payment process. The most prominent security standard is the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, which was discussed in detail in the previous response. The PCI DSS outlines specific security requirements that all entities involved in payment card processing must adhere to, including merchants, service providers, and payment processors. Compliance with PCI DSS is crucial for ensuring the secure handling of payment card data and mitigating the risk of data breaches and fraud. Overall, the payment card industry plays a critical role in facilitating secure and convenient electronic payment transactions globally. It continuously evolves to meet the changing demands of consumers and advances in technology while placing significant emphasis on data security and fraud prevention. PCI DSS Compliance offers numerous benefits to organizations that handle payment card transactions and store cardholder data. These benefits extend beyond merely meeting regulatory requirements and can positively impact an organization's overall security posture, reputation, and business operations. Here are some key benefits of PCI DSS compliance. 1. Enhanced data security. Compliance with PCI DSS ensures that sensitive cardholder data is adequately protected. Implementing security measures such as encryption, access controls, and regular security testing helps prevent data breaches and unauthorized access, reducing the risk of financial losses and reputational damage. 2. Reduced risk of data breaches. By adhering to the strict security requirements of PCI DSS, organizations can significantly decrease the likelihood of data breaches, which can be costly and damaging to both the organization and its customers. 3. Increased customer trust. Customers are more likely to trust and do business with organizations that demonstrate their commitment to securing payment card data. Being PCI DSS compliant can help build customer confidence and loyalty, leading to increased sales and customer retention. 4. Compliance with card network rules. Major card networks, including Visa, MasterCard, and others, require businesses to be PCI DSS compliant. Compliance ensures that organizations can continue to process card payments and maintain a positive relationship with these networks. 5. Avoidance of fines and penalties. Non-compliance with PCI DSS can result in significant fines and penalties from card networks and regulatory bodies. Achieving and maintaining compliance helps organizations avoid these financial consequences. 6. Cost savings. While implementing PCI DSS measures requires an initial investment, the long-term cost savings can be substantial. Preventing data breaches and fraud can save an organization from the financial burdens associated with data recovery, forensic investigations, legal fees, and potential lawsuits. 7. Streamlined business operations. Adhering to PCI DSS guidelines often leads to improved business processes. Organizations typically identify areas for streamlining, such as data storage practices and access controls, which can enhance overall operational efficiency. 8. Protection against reputational damage. A data breach can severely damage an organization's reputation. PCI DSS compliance demonstrates a commitment to security and privacy, helping to protect an organization's brand image and maintain customer trust. 9. Competitive advantage. Being PCI DSS compliant can serve as a competitive differentiator. It gives organizations an advantage over non-compliant competitors, as customers and partners are more likely to choose a business with a proven track record of security and compliance. 10. International acceptance. PCI DSS is recognized globally, and compliance allows organizations to process card payments internationally, expanding their customer base and potential market reach. In summary, PCI DSS compliance is not just a regulatory requirement, it is a critical step toward improving security, protecting data, and building trust with customers and partners. By achieving and maintaining compliance, organizations can create a secure payment environment, reduce risks, and gain a competitive edge in the marketplace. The scope and applicability of PCI DSS refer to the range of systems, processes, and entities that must comply with the payment card industry data security standard. Understanding the scope is crucial for organizations to identify the areas within their environment that need to be assessed and secured to meet compliance requirements. The scope of PCI DSS can vary based on the type of organization and the nature of their payment card processing activities. Here are some key points regarding scope and applicability. 1. Merchant level. The PCI DSS requirements are categorized based on the number of payment card transactions a merchant processes annually. There are 4 merchant levels, and the requirements become more stringent as the transaction volume increases. Level 1 merchants process the highest number of transactions and have the strictest compliance requirements. 2. Service providers. Organizations that provide services related to payment card processing, such as payment gateways, hosting providers, and managed service providers, are also within the scope of PCI DSS compliance. Service providers must comply with specific requirements as outlined in their agreements with the card brands and the PCI DSS. 3. Cardholder Data Environment, CDE. The CDE is the portion of an organization's network and systems that directly handle, transmit, or store cardholder data. This environment is the primary focus of PCI DSS compliance assessments and security measures. 4. Third-party connections. Organizations may have connections with third-party entities that process or handle payment card data on their behalf. These connections, such as cloud service providers or payment processors, can introduce additional compliance considerations and responsibilities. 5. Cardholder data flow. Understanding the flow of cardholder data within an organization's systems is essential to identify all relevant areas that fall under PCI DSS scope. This includes data storage, transmission, processing, and any potential points of exposure. 6. Payment channels. The compliance requirements may differ based on the payment channels utilized by an organization, such as brick-and-mortar stores, e-commerce websites, mobile applications, or telephone orders. 7. Network segmentation. Proper network segmentation is an essential factor in reducing the scope of PCI DSS compliance. By isolating the cardholder data environment from other parts of the network, organizations can limit the number of systems that require compliance assessment. It is important for organizations to conduct a thorough assessment of their environment to determine the exact scope of PCI DSS compliance. This assessment involves identifying all systems, processes, and entities involved in payment card processing and understanding how cardholder data flows within the organization. Based on this assessment, organizations can implement the necessary security measures and controls to achieve and maintain compliance with PCI DSS requirements. Additionally, maintaining an up-to-date inventory of systems and data flows is essential, as changes in the environment can impact the scope of compliance. Building and maintaining a secure network is a fundamental aspect of information security and a critical step in protecting an organization's assets from cyber threats. A secure network helps prevent unauthorized access, data breaches, and other security incidents. Here are key steps and best practices for building and maintaining a secure network. 1. Network design and segmentation. Plan and design your network with security in mind. Define security zones and segment sensitive systems and data from the rest of the network. Implement strong network boundaries using firewalls and access control lists, ACLs, to control traffic flow between different network segments. 2. Perimeter security. Deploy robust firewalls and intrusion prevention/detection systems, IPS/IDS, at the network perimeter to monitor and block unauthorized access attempts. Use network address translation, NAT, to hide internal IP addresses from external networks. 3. Secure network protocols. Use secure communication protocols such as HTTPS, SSL/TLS, and VPNs to protect data during transmission. Disable or restrict the use of insecure protocols like Telnet and FTP. 4. Strong authentication and access control. Implement multi-factor authentication, MFA, for critical systems and privileged accounts. Enforce strong password policies and account lockout mechanisms to prevent brute force attacks. Limit user access rights to only what is necessary for their job responsibilities, principle of least privilege. 5. Monitoring and logging. Implement robust logging mechanisms to record network activity and security events. Regularly review logs for signs of suspicious or unauthorized activities. 6. Patch management. Keep all network devices, including routers, switches, and firewalls, up to date with the latest security patches and firmware updates. Regularly review vendor security advisories for vulnerabilities affecting your network equipment. 7. Security training and awareness. Educate employees and network users about security best practices and the importance of following security policies and procedures. Conduct regular security awareness training to help users recognize and report potential security threats. 8. Network monitoring and incident response. Deploy network monitoring tools to detect unusual or suspicious activities. Have an incident response plan in place to respond quickly and effectively to security incidents and breaches. 9. Regular security audits and assessments. Conduct periodic security assessments and audits to identify potential weaknesses and areas for improvement in your network security. 10. Secure remote access. If remote access is required, use secure methods like VPNs and limit access to authorized personnel only. Building and maintaining a secure network is an ongoing process that requires a proactive approach to security. Regular risk assessments, security updates, and monitoring are essential to stay ahead of emerging threats and ensure the network remains resilient against potential attacks. Protecting cardholder data is one of the core objectives of the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS. Organizations that handle payment card transactions must implement robust security measures to safeguard cardholder data throughout the entire transaction process and storage. Here are essential steps to protect cardholder data. 1. Encryption. Use strong encryption protocols, e.g., AES, TLS, to protect cardholder data during transmission over public networks, such as the Internet. Encrypt sensitive data when stored in databases or on other storage media to ensure that even if unauthorized access occurs, the data remains unreadable. 2. Tokenization. Consider implementing tokenization, a technique that replaces sensitive cardholder data with unique tokens. The tokens can be used for certain purposes without exposing the actual card data. 3. Restrict data storage. Store only the necessary cardholder data required for business purposes. Avoid storing sensitive authentication data, e.g., CVV or PIN, after authorization. 4. Access controls. Implement strong access controls to restrict access to cardholder data. Only authorized personnel should have access to such data, and access rights should follow the principle of least privilege. 5. Secure payment card terminals. Use secure and validated payment card terminals, e.g., POS devices, that meet industry standards and protect against tampering and skimming. 6. Network segmentation. Segment the cardholder data environment, CDE, from other parts of the network to limit exposure to sensitive data and prevent unauthorized access. 7. Regular security testing. Conduct regular security testing, such as penetration testing and vulnerability assessments, to identify and address potential weaknesses in the security infrastructure. 8. Security policies and training. Develop and enforce comprehensive security policies and procedures for handling cardholder data. Train employees on data security best practices and the proper handling of payment card information. 9. Monitor and log activity. Implement logging and monitoring systems to track access to cardholder data and detect suspicious activities or unauthorized access attempts. 10. Compliance with PCI DSS. Ensure full compliance with the requirements of the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. Compliance involves regular assessments and reporting to the card brands and payment processors. 11. Secure remote access. If remote access to cardholder data is necessary, use secure methods such as VPNs and multi-factor authentication to protect against unauthorized access. 12. Incident response plan. Develop and test an incident response plan to respond effectively to security incidents involving cardholder data breaches. Protecting cardholder data requires a multi-layered approach that combines technical measures, policies, and employee awareness. Organizations must continuously monitor and update their security measures to stay ahead of evolving cyber threats and maintain a secure payment environment. Compliance with industry standards like PCI DSS is essential to ensure the highest level of protection for cardholder data. Maintaining a robust vulnerability management program is essential for identifying, prioritizing, and addressing potential security vulnerabilities in an organization's IT infrastructure. This proactive approach helps reduce the risk of cyber attacks, data breaches, and other security incidents. Here are key steps to effectively maintain a vulnerability management program. 1. Asset inventory. Create and maintain an up-to-date inventory of all hardware, software, and network assets within the organization. This includes servers, workstations, network devices, applications, and cloud-based services. 2. Vulnerability scanning. Conduct regular vulnerability scans on all assets to identify potential security weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Use reputable vulnerability scanning tools and ensure they cover both internal and external network assets. 3. Patch management. Establish a formal process for deploying security patches and updates to address known vulnerabilities. Prioritize critical patches and ensure timely installation across all relevant systems. 4. Risk assessment and prioritization. Evaluate the severity of identified vulnerabilities based on their potential impact on the organization. Prioritize patching and remediation efforts based on risk levels. 5. Security patch testing. Before deploying patches to production environments, perform thorough testing in isolated environments to ensure patches do not introduce new issues. 6. Remediation process. Implement a clear and efficient process for addressing identified vulnerabilities. Define roles and responsibilities for remediation efforts, and establish timelines for resolving vulnerabilities based on their risk level. 7. Continuous monitoring. Continuously monitor for new vulnerabilities and security threats that may emerge over time. Stay informed about the latest security advisories from vendors and security organizations. 8. Incident response integration. Integrate vulnerability management with the organization's incident response plan to respond quickly to critical vulnerabilities that could be exploited. 9. User awareness and training. Educate employees about the importance of promptly reporting potential vulnerabilities and security issues they encounter in their day-to-day work. 10. Vendor management. Engage with vendors and third-party providers to ensure they also maintain a robust vulnerability management program for their products and services. PCI approved scanning vendor called ASV should be used. 11. Penetration testing. Conduct regular penetration testing to simulate real-world attacks and identify security weaknesses that may not be detected by automated scanning tools. 12. Continuous improvement. Regularly review and evaluate the effectiveness of the vulnerability management program. Make adjustments and improvements based on lessons learned from security incidents and evolving threat landscapes. By establishing a comprehensive vulnerability management program and continually updating it to address emerging threats, organizations can significantly enhance their overall security posture and minimize the risk of potential data breaches and cyber attacks. Implementing strong access control measures is essential for ensuring that only authorized users have appropriate access to sensitive resources and data within an organization. Access control helps protect against unauthorized access, data breaches, and insider threats. Here are key steps to implement strong access control measures. 1. Identity and Access Management (IAM) system. Deploy an IAM system to manage user identities, access privileges, and authentication mechanisms centrally. Use single sign-on (SSO) solutions to simplify and secure user authentication across various systems. 2. Role-based access control (RBAC). Implement RBAC to assign access permissions based on job roles and responsibilities. Regularly review and update role assignments as personnel changes occur. 3. Strong authentication methods. Enforce the use of strong authentication methods such as multi-factor authentication (MFA) for accessing critical systems and sensitive data. MFA adds an extra layer of security beyond passwords, reducing the risk of unauthorized access due to stolen or weak passwords. 4. Password policies. Establish and enforce robust password policies, such as minimum password length, complexity requirements, and password expiration rules. Encourage users to avoid using common or easily guessable passwords. 5. Account lockout and session management. Implement account lockout mechanisms after multiple failed login attempts to protect against brute force attacks. Set session timeouts to automatically log users out after a period of inactivity. 6. Least privilege principle. Apply the principle of least privilege, ensuring that users only have access to the resources and data necessary to perform their specific tasks. Avoid granting unnecessary administrative privileges to regular users. 7. Audit and monitoring. Enable auditing and monitoring of access attempts and actions to detect suspicious or unauthorized activities. Review logs regularly to identify potential security incidents and anomalies. 8. Secure remote access. If remote access is required, Use secure methods such as VPNs and enforce strong authentication for remote users. 9. Access revocation. Implement a process for promptly revoking access privileges for employees who leave the organization or change roles. Disable or remove inactive accounts regularly to prevent them from becoming a security risk. 10. Secure configuration. Configure systems, applications, and network devices with security best practices in mind to reduce the risk of unauthorized access due to misconfigurations. 11. Employee training. Train employees on access control policies, the importance of protecting their login credentials, and the risks of sharing accounts or passwords. 12. Regular access reviews. Conduct periodic access reviews to ensure that access rights are accurate and up to date. Remove or modify access rights for any discrepancies found during the reviews. By implementing these strong access control measures, organizations can significantly enhance their security posture, protect sensitive data, and mitigate the risks associated with unauthorized access and data breaches. Access control should be an ongoing process, regularly reviewed and updated to adapt to changes in the organization's structure and the evolving threat landscape. Regular monitoring and testing of networks are crucial components of a robust cybersecurity strategy. These practices help organizations proactively identify potential security issues, detect anomalous activities, and validate the effectiveness of their security controls. Here are key aspects of regularly monitoring and testing networks. 1. Continuous monitoring. Implement automated monitoring tools and solutions to collect and analyze network traffic, logs, and security events in real time. Regularly review security logs to detect and investigate unusual or suspicious activities. 2. Intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDPS. Deploy IDPS to monitor network traffic for known patterns of malicious activities and potential intrusion attempts. Configure IDPS to alert security teams or take automated actions in response to detected threats. 3. Vulnerability scanning. Conduct periodic vulnerability scanning of network devices, servers, and applications to identify potential weaknesses and security gaps. Remediate identified vulnerabilities promptly. 4. Penetration testing. Conduct regular penetration testing, also known as ethical hacking, to simulate real-world cyber attacks and identify potential vulnerabilities in the network. Engage third-party security experts to perform unbiased and objective penetration tests. 5. Security Incident and Event Management, SIEM. Implement SIEM solutions to aggregate and correlate security event data from various sources, facilitating better threat detection and response. Set up alerts and triggers to notify security teams of potential security incidents. 6. Anomaly detection. Use anomaly detection techniques to identify unusual patterns of behavior in network traffic or user activity, which could indicate potential security breaches. 7. Traffic analysis. Regularly analyze network traffic to identify unusual communication patterns, such as data exfiltration or unauthorized data transfers. 8. User Behavior Analytics, UBA. Implement UBA tools to monitor and analyze user behavior, detecting anomalies that may indicate insider threats or compromised accounts. 9. Patch and configuration management. Ensure that all network devices and systems are up to date with the latest security patches and configurations. Regularly review and update configurations to align with security best practices. 10. Data Loss Prevention, DLP. Implement DLP solutions to monitor and prevent unauthorized access or transmission of sensitive data. 11. Incident Response Drills. Conduct periodic incident response drills to test the organization's response capabilities in handling security incidents effectively. 12. Security Awareness Training. Train employees on security best practices, including how to recognize and report security incidents or suspicious activities. Regular monitoring and testing of networks are not one-time tasks, but ongoing processes that require continuous evaluation and improvement. These practices help organizations stay vigilant against emerging threats, minimize the risk of security breaches, and respond effectively to security incidents when they occur. Maintaining an effective information security policy is critical for establishing a framework to protect an organization's sensitive information, assets, and systems. The policy serves as a guiding document that outlines the organization's commitment to information security and provides clear guidelines for employees, contractors, and partners on how to handle data securely. Here are essential steps to maintain an information security policy. 1. Regular policy review. Conduct periodic reviews of the information security policy to ensure it remains relevant and aligned with the organization's changing business objectives and the evolving threat landscape. 2. Policy updates. Update the policy as needed to address new security threats, changes in regulations, or modifications in the organization's structure and technology. 3. Communicate policy changes. Effectively communicate any updates or changes to the information security policy to all relevant stakeholders within the organization, including employees, contractors, and third-party vendors. 4. Compliance enforcement. Establish procedures to monitor and enforce compliance with the information security policy throughout the organization. Implement consequences for non-compliance, which may include disciplinary actions or additional training. 5. The security training and awareness. Conduct regular security training and awareness programs to educate employees about the importance of the information security policy and best practices for safeguarding data. 6. Incident reporting and response. Clearly outline the procedures for reporting security incidents and define the steps for responding to and mitigating security breaches. 7. Document retention and disposal. Specify guidelines for document retention and secure disposal of sensitive information to prevent unauthorized access or data leakage. 8. Access control policies. Detail access control measures and protocols to ensure that access to information and systems is granted based on the principle of least privilege. 9. Bring your own device (BYOD) policies. If applicable, include guidelines for employees using personal devices for work-related tasks to ensure data security and separation of personal and business data. 10. Vendor and third-party management. Address security considerations for third-party vendors, contractors, and partners who have access to the organization's data or systems. 11. Incident response plan alignment. Ensure that the information security policy aligns with the organization's broader incident response plan, facilitating a coordinated response to security incidents. 12. Regular employee acknowledgement. Require all employees to acknowledge their understanding of the information security policy regularly. Maintaining an information security policy is an ongoing effort that requires collaboration among various departments, including IT, human resources, legal, and compliance teams. Regular policy reviews and updates help organizations stay ahead of emerging threats, adapt to new technology trends, and maintain a strong security posture. The information security policy should be seen as a living document that evolves to protect the organization's information assets effectively. Respected security professional. If you've watched part 1 of our PCI DSS series, we'd love to hear from you. Your thoughts and ideas are really important to us. Great leaders like yourself always share their insights to help others in the community. If you enjoyed the video and are excited for more content, part 2, 3, and 4, show some love by liking and commenting below. We're all about making things better, and that's why we follow the PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, and act. Our videos are designed with this in mind, to help you grow and succeed in your career journey. Got questions or specific topics you want to dive into? Drop a comment, and we'll get back to you quickly. Join the Rate CISO community today and let's work together to boost your career growth. Don't miss out, hit that subscribe button. We promise you'll have an amazing mentor guiding you throughout your career journey. We're eager to hear your thoughts, likes, and comments. Let's go! Also, we have posted other videos link in the comment which we feel would be relevant for you. Have a look. Have a great day ahead. Next time I will also share my story of New York with you.